This week's Weekly Wonder shines a light on social media itself in the equine industry. It's no big shock that the equestrian industry is light years behind many other sports when it comes to media presence, corporate endorsements, athlete promotion, and a general understanding of the digital media world. Perhaps it's our preoccupation with tradition and convention, the lack of exposure at a high level to the masses, or simply a resistance to change that holds us back. But it's not only imperative that the horse industry continue to evolve and enter the digital space more and more, but it will only help bring more eyeballs and in turn more financial support to our close-knit community. Despite our shortcomings in general, there are a few athletes, brands, and big players within the industry that have made that leap and continue to push the boundaries of where our beautiful sport can go. Hiring content developers, social media experts, PR firms, and advertising companies certainly helps generate higher quality imagery and exposure, but it's our belief at Bytes that making our athletes, both human and equine, more accessible to the fans is vital to the growth of our sport. It's not necessarily an easy task to highlight our sport in a positive way, especially amidst the growing calls for oversight on animal welfare, but it is the athlete's responsibility to give back and participate in as much media exposure as possible. For those critics of such a notion, we believe it's a symbiotic relationship as well with the media. Athletes and brands want to grow and profit through exposure, therefore, they should partake in behind-the-scenes and fan outreach as well. It goes both ways. Show and tell how things really are, celebrate the victories, discuss the mistakes, and expose the behind-the-scenes of this complex and challenging sport. According to a Yahoo Sports article, equestrian is ranked as the hardest sport based on the average person's ability to survive it and successfully complete a round. So knowing that, isn't it our responsibility to show people how awesome and badass equestrians really are? Well, here to discuss some of the ways in which athletes, brands, and the facets of the industry can utilize social media to bring exposure, increase profits, and create lucrative and lasting careers is Dutch national champion rider, entrepreneur, and social media whiz, Christy Snepbangers. Christy has built a following of over 125,000 people on socials, started a number of product businesses, all the while competing and winning in both eventing and show jumping. So you have amassed a massive following on social media. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in that sort of influencer athlete space?
Yeah, it started when I had some championships and I was away a lot of times, and my family always said to me like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then I thought I'm going to film it so they can see what my life looked like. Smart. And then I started recording some videos on YouTube, and it exploded a bit with the views. And yeah, a few years later, it's my job.
How does the social media support your equestrian career?
It does it in a lot of ways. I have several sponsors that are investing in me, but they can also, normally they invest in 5-star riders, but now they are choosing me because I'm not a 5-star rider yet.
Not yet. Soon, hopefully.
But they are choosing me because I have that big following and I can reach out to a lot of people. But also on competitions, you get invited to competitions where you normally not get into so easily. Yeah. So yeah, that helps me a lot as well.
So what do you think is the most important part about creating these sort of personal brands around athletes these days that makes it marketable to sponsors?
I think the most important thing is maybe to show everything. There are a few riders that maybe sometimes only shows when they're winning, but it's good to let the people know that it's all about working very hard, training every day and give it your all. So I think that's the most important thing, that you show what is really happening, and then sponsors are more likely to invest in you.
So what has been your biggest struggle with social media?
I think maybe the biggest struggle is that you have some jealousy sometimes. I think sometimes people want it also, the life, and they don't see how hard you work for it. They think everything is just coming to you, like you can do that, but they don't see how much you have to sacrifice and how much you have to give. So I think that's the hardest part. They only see what you are getting, but they don't see what you are sacrificing.
What has been the most lucrative endeavor that you have sort of embarked on? Was it a product line? Was it just content for sponsors, products?
Yeah, I think it's the merchandising. Because of my YouTube videos, I got a lot of fans, and they started questioning me about the Christie clothes or something like that. And then I produced my own line, so I'm wearing it right now.
Perfect.
So I think that's the thing that brought me the most. I have my own business now all about Christie, and that all started with my social media.
What do you think is important for athletes to promote? Why do you think it's important for athletes to promote themselves in our sport? A lot of people sort of say, oh, it's not the athlete's responsibility. They shouldn't do that. Do you think it's that it is the athlete's responsibility?
Yeah, I think, because you hear a lot, yeah, I'm just not good at it. But that's not a good reason, you know. If you are a sporter, you have to create your own brand with it, because it gives you so much more. And I think that's really important, because if you just win, they will know it for that day. But if you keep posting it and people see it, you have so much more that you can achieve with social media.
What would be your 3 takeaways for brands wanting to promote themselves in a positive way?
I think to choose a rider who's showing everything, so not only the best parts but also the less parts, so who's real on Instagram.
When you screw up, it's good.
Yeah,
you should show when you screw up.
The fail videos always get a lot of views.
Yeah, totally.
So showing the reality, a person who can do that, a person who's good with horses. So I think lately there's a small group who don't want us to do horse riding, and I think showing the positivity about our sport and why we love it so much, I think that's the most important thing, that it's a rider who, you know, want to promote sport and who stands for it and shows that the horse is not only your partner but it's also your best friend. And inspiring maybe other people to start doing horse riding or to start jumping, because they maybe think it's scary, but we all thought our first jump is high, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's something that they should believe in their dreams and just go do it.
And lastly, what would you most contribute your success to?
I think hardworking. A lot of hardworking, never giving up, and maybe the most thing I always say is follow your dreams. Like I'm here in Wellington with you. It's crazy, it's amazing, but it's because I worked a lot of years and I believed in my dreams, and now I'm here and my dream came true.
Such an important topic, and it's fascinating to see how our sport continues to develop and utilize social media. Although equestrian sport tends to remain traditional and antiquated in many areas, we are seeing an uptick in athlete influencers, which helps to generate higher viewership and eyeballs in a world that could certainly benefit from the use of modern media tools.